So it's under earned value management. And EVA is management with lights on. So that is the quote given for this particular aspect in project management. What I want to show you is, so earned value is also, this is the other name by which it goes by, BCWP, budgeted cost of work performed. So the project manager is able to see how ahead or behind the schedule you are, or how over or under the budget you are. You get to measure both of it. It helps you evaluate cost, efficiency, health, and performance of the project in general. For professionals, project work is being accomplished as planned. This is something you get to know. You get to know if the costs are at the level expected, what the remaining work is likely to cost, able to identify where any problems are occurring, how serious the problems are, and what will take to get the project back on track. Now, earned value analysis or earned value management has got, it's broken down into several formulas and a lot of full forms that you would have to pick up from. So I have to go through, so you can see each chapter I will cover on one slide. I've tried to summarize everything on one slide. So we have 13 categories to visit. So just to show you, to give you a brief about what to expect for the PMP exam, they're going to ask you questions regarding formulas about earned value, communications, procurement, probability, project selection, depreciation, etc., and a lot of acronyms. So it is very important by the end of this presentation, you at least have a rough idea of the acronyms. So here is a list of the type of questions that you should expect. One is directly to apply a formula on the questions that they've asked. Apply two formulas. You'll use one formula to get to the answer, and midway you'll find out that one value is missing and you need another formula to get that value. So that's the second type. Invert the formula. I have given you the example inside the blue box. 4 plus 6 equal to something, or 4 plus something equal to 10. You have to find out the something. Result interpretation. They'll give you the answer and then you go backwards. Find the correct formula. They'll give you the actual question. This is like a word problem in math when you were back in school. Then lastly, you use a formula based on keywords. Okay, these are scenario-based questions that contain certain keywords. You must recognize that keyword and then apply that formula to that keyword. Someone's coming? Yeah. Just the highlights of what to expect for the PMP exam. This is a PMP exam question for you. All right. There are 20 stakeholders on a project. What is the total number of potential communication channels in this project? I've given you four options. Use this formula. N is the number of stakeholders. What is the answer you get? People online, feel free. If you use this formula and if you have to answer this question, "20 stakeholders" and N is the number of stakeholders. 10 seconds.
For communication?
It's just a formula-based sample question, just to prep their minds. Yes.
190?
Yes.
190.
Yes. Your answer is correct. It is 190. All right. So this is just an example on how to prepare your mind for the other formulas that are going to come in. So when it comes to earned value formulas, it is the measure of work completed expressed in terms of the budget that has been previously authorized for this particular project or work. So what on earth is value? That's the question. What on earth is value?
Give us examples of values.
What do you think is the value, the word value in earned value?
Infinity, maybe.
No. Try. One more chance. Earned value. What are you measuring here? Don't worry.
Progress, I think.
Value is money. Okay, in this context, they are talking about money. The total value of the project is equal to the budget of the project. All right, so just remember that. So this is just another way of remembering. When you're working on a project, you're going to spend a particular budget to achieve certain objectives and then deliver your business value. There are 12 earned value calculations in total. 12. This is the sheet. You're looking at PV, which is planned value, EV, earned value, AC, actual cost, BAC is budget at completion, CV, cost variance, SV, schedule variance.
This is very important
Yes.
table, guys. Huh?
Yes.
And there is a longer version, right?
Yes, yes. I have another one overlapping this.
Cool.
VAC is variance at completion. You have CPI, cost performance index, SPI, schedule performance index, estimate at completion, estimate to complete performance index, TCPI. All right, now there are a lot of formulas. In general, these two boxes, all right, are something that you can revise or review every time you have to go through earned value analysis, because my slides are actually a breakdown of all of these now. Now, earned value calculation. Let's say we are working on a project to design an application for a smartwatch. You would have to imagine this scenario. Okay, are we over or under budget? Are we ahead or behind schedule? This is the formula for earned value calculation. Percent complete into budget at completion. Okay, you will get a monetary value at the end of this. Let's assume this situation. Our smart watch app project is going to take 6 months and it's going to cost us 60,000 USD. We are 2 months into the project and we have ended up spending 20,000. So the actual cost is 20,000 so far. Our project sponsor wants to know if the project is doing okay. What does he mean by okay? What he means by that, to see whether we are burning through the budget too quickly or what. Let's assume this project was supposed to be delivered with 36 packages, different sections, 36 sections, and each package has a particular planned value. All right, there's an amount for each of these packages. And let's assume we are taking the same amount of effort across those 36 packages. Let's say the project has completed only 12 out of those 36, okay? Which means 12 out of 36 is approximately 33.3%. So how much is completed? 33.3%. The budget at completion was 60, and this is how you would apply it in the formula, and your earned value would be 20,000. This is a scenario of a particular project and how you would get the earned value. Now, there are instances where you may not have a similar way of packages. They are probably, each package has a different effort in it. Maybe it's not the same effort. That is called, you have to take into consideration each planned value separately for that, a summation, and then you proceed. All right, here. What is planned value? It is the authorized budget assigned to scheduled work. There could be multiple planned values as well. There is no formula for planned value. It's simply the approved budget for a task. It's very straightforward. Planned value, PV. Okay? Here. Next one. Schedule variance, which is SV. This is the formula. Schedule variance tells us whether... Someone's joined in. Just a second, guys. Okay. So when you talk about schedule variance, it will tell us whether our smartwatch app project is ahead or behind schedule. So these are keywords that you have to look out for in your questions that might appear to you during your examination. SV is your earned value minus your planned value. Pretty straightforward here. And there is a variance that you can consider, plus or minus 5% or plus or minus 15%. If it is way beyond this variance level, then investigation is recommended. It means something is off about your project. Next one is cost variance, and this is the formula. The CV formula is also used to work out if the project is over, on, or under budget. Okay, the previous one was schedule, SV, CV is for budget. Just see the difference, all right? So it's earned value minus actual value. So I can give you the example, the previous one here. Your earned value, which as per the formula, the percent formula, we had got the answer of 20 minus the actual cost, which was also 20. And you get the value of 0. And as per that, if you see, we are on planned cost. Any questions so far online, guys?
All right.
All right, thank you. The next one, cost performance index, CPI. This is an alternative way of looking at cost performance of a project, and the ratios over here are pretty self-explanatory, and you don't need to get further information to see how on track or off track your project is performing. If you see the formula, it's earned value upon actual cost. As usual, you are aiming for number 1 again, and you will know whether if it's greater than 1, then it's underplanned. If it's less than 1, then it's overplanned.
So it's always the negative value is bad.
Bad, yes.
Always negative value is bad. And negative here doesn't mean that you will be spending less, you are spending more. So the cost overrun. Great.
Yeah, all right. Next slide. We go to estimate at completion, EAC, which is your budget at completion upon your cost performance index. When I have to remember these full forms. So over here with EAC, it works out the final and the total cost of the project based on your performance so far. And you can see the example down. For this project, we decided to do a re-estimation of the cost. If the remaining work of your project is going to cost you so much, for example, 50,000 for the rest of the project, and since you already spent your actual cost, which was 20, you would be able to estimate the completion, which is now total 20 plus what is remaining 50. Now it will be 70, right? So EAC, yeah. So EAC is what is left, the budget that you would have to estimate.
ETC. The estimate to completion is what is left.
Yeah.
At completion, the full formula.
Yes. Another person coming in. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So schedule performance index, SPI, is a formula that you use to work out if the project is again ahead or behind schedule, and if it is going to finish as predicted or when predicted. So there are several formulas to get to the same point. All right, you just have to see what are the values given to you, and you have to use that appropriate formula. So we are back in school and you have to memorize all the formulas. With SPI, it will be earned value upon your planned value. And I remember telling you, planned value is? Yes, the actual budget of that particular, yes, the task. Very good. Here again, we are aiming for number 1. The value should be aimed at 1. Yeah. So I've given you an example. So if it's below, ouch, we are working half the speed that we've planned. Okay. Next one, variance at completion is going to be your budget at completion minus estimate at completion. So this is going to give you another value. So it's the total cost that we originally planned minus the total cost that we now expect. Because
it's the difference between the two values. I have
yes,
time to finish with 5 millions and I have finished with 7 millions. So the
so
variance
what you've
is
started
minus
off
2.
with and what you have ended up with, right?
And
This
it
is just
shows
an
your
example.
skills as a project manager, and how tough your project was, what the circumstances you have went through, because it's way much away from what has been planned with a negative value. That means either there was maybe a force majeure, or there was some bad circumstances, too many changes. Maybe you were not updating the subsidiary plans as per the changes approved. Maybe you are not working as per the change control integration system, and maybe you are not that good project manager to be able to finish with this. So there are too many reasons. The last one will look like you are not performing well as a project manager and project team, but we are going to measure what is the reason for having such a case. And this should be one of the lessons learned in your next projects.
All right. Next one, estimate to complete formula, ETC, which is your estimate at completion minus your actual cost. It is a formula, essentially an inversion of your EAC calculation. It's the opposite of the EAC calculation.
Estimate the completion from the point you are standing and measuring until the end of the project based on the previous performance, how likely the budget will
change,
or
yeah.
the cost will be. Okay? So
Sorry? Yeah.
definitely this mostly will be different than what you have planned if your current performance is not one, correct?
Yes.
Your
Yes.
cost performance index or schedule performance index is one, that means you're on track. Most probably, if you are expecting what's the estimate to completion, it should match, for example, what you have planned, because now you are one. Is it clear? Cool.
All right. And promise this is the last slide. TCPI, this is to complete your performance index. It's a combination of two formulas, one upon the other. Budget at completion minus your earned value upon estimate at completion minus your actual cost. Right? The first part of the formula, it indicates how much project work is remaining and how much value remains that need to be achieved. The second part, the one at the bottom, indicates the money available to finish the project. So how much is pending and how much money you have. That will give you to complete performance index. And this is the last formula from my end.
The value should be